Classical output and employment theory. Now let's go ahead and look at the final equilibrium. So this is the demand of labor. This is the supply of labor. Wherever the two meet, that's the equilibrium. I get the equilibrium amount of labor here and equilibrium wage here. Now I take this labor down to my production function and I get the equilibrium amount of output. So the equilibrium is determined where demand of labor is equal to supply of labor. Once I know my equilibrium labor, I take it to the production function and I determine the amount of output. Output, labor, real wages are endogenous variables in the model. Intersection of demand and supply, it determines N star and real wages. This is what I've shown you, right? You get to know how many people will be employed in the market and what will be the real wage at which they will be employed. Using the production function, one can determine output when N star is the employed. Exogenous variables. Now, let's ask what are the variables that are outside the model? Like technological change, that is outside the model. Like change in capital stock, that is outside the model. So just think about this, okay? When there is increase in capital stock, it will increase the output. When there is increase in technology, it will increase the output. Now, this means that initially, if this was my production function, increase in capital will shift my production function upwards, right? Now, just think about this, okay? This is very important. What is my production function? A little mathematical. Production function is functional relationship between input and output. So I have capital and labor as input, and I have Y as output. The slope of anything, it is given by how Y changes when something on the x-axis changes. So x-axis is labor. This is the slope of the production function. But what is this? This just tells me how my output changes when my labor changes. Isn't this marginal product of labor? And how did you determine the demand of labor? The demand of labor was where W by P was equal to MPN. This is what we had seen, right? This was W by P. This was MPN. This was the demand of labor, equilibrium. Now just think about this. When the output function shifts upwards, then it affects the marginal product of labor. This also increases. If this increases, this will shift upwards. So this means that there will be increase in the demand of labor. If there will be increase in the demand of labor, it will increase the equilibrium amount of labor and it will increase the real wages. So this is the entire impact. There is increase in the demand of labor. It shifts the MPN to the right. When that shifts, then in the final equilibrium, you employ more labor and real wage increases. Let's consider another exogenous variable. So we are considering what happens when there is population growth. So when there is increase in population, it means supply of labor will increase. So the labor supply curve will shift to the right. So let's just make it here. Increase in population will increase the supply of labor. If this is the demand of labor and this is the supply of labor, this will shift the supply of labor to the right. The amount of labor in equilibrium will increase and the real wage, this will decrease. Okay.